Black Power family. This your brother Sarnetta coming black at you from Black News 102 Sarnetta TV. I want to let the family know that the Hebrews are ducking. The Hebrew Israelites are scared as hell. Now let me tell you what I mean and how I know that they are afraid of the general Sarah Suit and Seti. The Hebrew Israelites are running scared, family. Trust me when I tell you this. I went to 4 camps. They all was with the debate. And when I mentioned who they're going to debate, they all came up with an excuse and they all started saying the same goddamn thing, believe it or not, that they people in the camp is busy and they can't do it. But before I told them it was SETI, they was already. Them motherfuckers scared. They running.
Out of the drum we come. As a people, out of the drum, we come. Hey. Out of the drum we come. Oh. As a people, out of the drum we come. No. Out of the drum. The dance of the elder. Everybody dance. Respect yourself. The dance of the elder. Everybody dance.
Peace, Black Power, the General Sarah Suit and Seti, all the way from Detroit.
Black
the
Power.
Motown Sound.
Black Power, what's going on, fam?
Man, you already
turn
know.
This shit down.
Listen, the Hebrew Israelites is ducking.
They don't want none of me. Them niggas don't want none of me.
What?
They don't want none of me. I'm gonna shut that shit down. It's not a problem. You can bring me any Hebrew, Jew, Christian, Muslim, bring them all. They all tied to the same bullshit.
Well, let me ask you, where do the 10 Commandments come from? Because I had a Hebrew here earlier, and he was telling me it come from the Most High.
It come from the Most High.
Yeah.
Okay, ask me this. What was Moses fleeing from Egypt for? Why did he have to flee Egypt? Anybody out here, why did Moses have to flee Egypt? For murder. He murdered Pharaoh's soldier and he had to flee Egypt. Then 80 years later, he went up on the mountain and got a law from God that said, thou shalt not kill. Now how the hell he gonna get the law from God 80 years later when he was fleeing from Egypt for murder? Go look it up. Even the Hebrews that saw him do that.
Yes, exactly.
He saw the two Hebrews arguing, right?
Right.
And so they say he tried to check the Hebrews about arguing with one another, saying that y'all brothers, but then the Hebrew looked at him and said, how can you judge us for you slay Pharaoh's soldier? And they used the word kill in that verse. So they understood the concept of killing long before Moses supposedly got some laws on the mountain. Christianity is nothing but Greek mythology mixed with Egyptian religion. That's all it is. The gods that you call, the greater gods of ancient Rome, they took places in Christianity. You see Cupid, that's the baby angel, that was already there. You got Venus, the Virgin, she was already there. Okay, and Jesus is nothing but Zeus. Say Jesus in Spanish. Hey Zeus.
Hey Zeus, that's right.
Hey Zeus. Son of goddamn Zeus. That's all that it is. Is that just a coincidence? When you can take Jesus and put him right next to Serapis, and they looked at, you can see the shit for yourself, but you don't want to accept the fact. They see it, but they know if they tell on Master gonna dig in that ass. See, Master still signing them checks though. So you can know the truth, but as soon as a nigga have to put his check and the truth on the line, he gonna choose the check. So a lot of these people know this shit. They know that this shit is old, man. Everybody know that Jesus is a copy of Horus mixed with Greek mythology. That's all that it is.
Are you telling me that there's no such thing as a Jesus Christ that ever walked the face of the earth?
There is no.
That's not real?
It's not real. There's no such thing as a God.
Oh,
There's no such thing as a God.
So God ain't no God?
Listen here. What we talking about as a God is an individual. A God as an individual. Somebody that you could just call on the telephone and say, God, what's going on?
Right.
Any of these niggas out here say they know God, ask him what his phone number is so you can call him up. See, if somebody knock on your door, listen to me. If somebody knock on your door from any reputable company, they should have an identification card. And if you don't feel comfortable with that person, you can call up that company, give them that identification number, and they can verify whether that person worked for that company or not. Ask any of these niggas that say that they are a representative of God, show their identification number, give us a number to God so we can verify that they actually represent the God they say they represent. Any one of them. Give me the number to God. Give me the number to God so we can call him up.
I'm gonna bring you back.
Let me ask you a question. What you think about Coptic Christianity?
Coptic Christianity is mixture. Anytime you start using the term Christianity, then it's mixture. Because the metal netter had already been sealed. The metal netter was already sealed. They had already had most of their glyphs, all of their gods. It had been sealed. So when you start seeing, and it had been practiced for 10,000, 20,000 years with no mixture. So why would they change all abruptly like that? And then just start introducing new shit that had never been seen. That shit is, and so when you go to the Greek temples that was built by the Ptolemies, when you look at the cartouches that was in the wall, the priests left them blank. They didn't even put their names in the cartouches, so that we will always remember that they didn't recognize them as the true kings. They left their cartouches blank. You see? So when the Ptolemies came in, that's when Christianity began. They started taking our Africa, just like what they did with the Sphinx. They took the faces down. They destroyed our faces as God. You see what I'm saying? They destroyed our image as a divinity. We were no longer looked at in that we was lower than low. You feel me? Damn, I done rocked my damn chain off my neck. Man, just, that's all right. That's all right. Keep moving.
All right, now, you know, we always talk about Christianity, but I don't really hear nobody going in and putting foot on Islam. What's up with
I mean,
with Allah?
Islam is deeper. They all tied to the Jew. All of them is tied to the Jew.
How so?
So because when you look at the prophets of Christianity and Islam, all they did was add on top of Judaism. They kept the Old Testament prophets. The Christians just added Jesus on top of the Old Testament. And then Islam came later. They kept Jesus, but they added Allah on top of the Old Testament and Christian. It's just like this. You got 50 Cent, you got Eminem, and you got Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre is getting the most. He the Jew. Ain't nobody going in his pockets. Right. But he going in both of them niggas' pockets.
Right.
The white boy and 50 Cent. See, but the white boy brought 50 in.
Right.
See, he's Christianity. See, and 50 is Islam. See, the white boy getting, you know, because Islam added Jesus. That's a compromise. They had something over their ass. When they gave them that Islam, they said, we're going to give your ass a religion, but you're going to keep our Jesus. That's how it went. They gave them Islam. So they kept the Old Testament, Jesus, and added Allah. But look at it like this. Now look. The Muslim have to pray to the prophets of the Old Testament and Jesus, but the Jew, he don't recognize Jesus. He don't recognize Allah. That show you the rank and file. But both of them, they recognize the Jew prophets. Islam and Christianity recognize the Jew prophets, but the Jews don't recognize Jesus or Allah. That show you the rank and file right there. Now the Christian don't have to recognize Allah, but the Muslim got to recognize the Old Testament and Jesus.
That's right.
He have to reckon. That show you the rank and file.
That's right.
So when all you had to do is go to the Old Testament, and once you destroy the Old Testament, by default, you destroy Christianity and Islam.
If you're saying if the Hebrew Israelites, they base everything on the Bible, right?
On the Bible.
So what's the beginning of the Bible then? What's the beginning of the Bible?
The beginning of the Bible is supposedly with Moses. They say Adam and Eve, but Moses is the first author of the Bible. It say Genesis, the first book of Moses. So based on tradition, they don't have no history before Moses. No other author ever wrote of Adam and Eve. No other author ever wrote of a Joseph or Isaac. It came with Moses. There's no man known as a Moses that ever came into existence until one of these nasty ass crackers wrote it.
Okay.
You see, because ain't no, when do you find an original text from Moses?
Right.
Where's the original one? If you ain't got no original, how do you know that this man even existed? You got a birth certificate. It got to be something on you to document you existed. And when you go to history, all the kings got their name in the wall. So it ain't no excuse for you not to be able to document that your name, who you are. You can go to all them pharaohs. You know the history of them because it's written. So where's this man's history at? How you gonna have sovereignty without divinity? Divinity is the foundation of your sovereignty. This is how you, let me explain to you what divinity is. See, this will put that religion and that God shit in check.
Go ahead.
When you look at all things in creation, I'm gonna say this once, I might do it twice. All things in creation, when it comes in, when it's born into this world, it automatically knows what it is and what it's supposed to do.
Go ahead.
A tree is a goddamn tree. It know the fruit pre-coded. But when it comes into existence, it does is the fruit that an apple, it only produce apple. It don't make a mistake and produce no goddamn peach.
Right.
And don't nobody have to explain to that tree only grow apples. Do you have to talk to the tree and tell it what to do? No, it automatic. That's innate. So everything is pre-coded to do what it's supposed to do when it comes into existence. Nobody came here to find a God, because you wouldn't have got here if you didn't already know God. How the hell you gonna come here and nobody can explain to us where this God is at? Here we is right now wanting to meet God so bad in our heart. We love God. Just talk to us. Won't even talk to us. See, so this is what I'm saying. Nobody has ever documented this God speaking for itself.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
You said talking about people that ask God, but some people say they talk to God. What do you think about that?
They talk to God and then they wake the fuck up and come back to their senses. Because I used to talk to God. I did. I used to talk to God. And when I thought God's supposed to answer, I would answer for God. I say, Father. And then in my mind, I answer for God. You know what I used to say? Yes, my son. Yes, my son. And I'll go on with the conversation. But then after a while, I say, man, wake your stupid ass up. You know you the one answering for God. Ain't nobody ever talked to no goddamn God through the sky at one time. It's always a nigga in the bathroom, on the goddamn toilet, by himself talking to God. God has never opened the sky and verified one religion over the other. Not one of them. Religion is given to a man by another man. Just like these goddamn Jehovah's Witnesses and all these, they come up and put that shit in your hand. If he don't do that, you wouldn't even know they ass existed.